Today, I'm up here talking. All of these guys over here, brought you around the college campus, showed you what it's like to be on a college campus. All of your family are here today to support you and to support your love and your passions today. However, at some point, it's going to be somebody else's turn to bring all of these people together and organize a spelling bee, right? Because do you want your younger brothers and sisters or other people, the kids that come after you, to have a spelling bee and have the same fun opportunity? Yeah? Do you guys want it? Okay, so his famous line that he always used to say is that sometime I'm not going to be as a part of this universe organizing spelling bees, right? So if not you doing this, then who will do this? So if not you, then who? So you guys have the opportunity today to sit up here and practice all of your lovely spelling words. And then in the future, you can share that with other people. And this goes to all of the things that you guys care about, right? Yeah, okay. So that's sort of all of what I want to share with you today. Other than saying it is an honor for the University of Rochester to partner with the community and to partner with 19th Ward organizations and others to be here today. And so I just wanted to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to talk with you and share a few words of wisdom this morning, or afternoon, sorry. And I wish you all luck and good memories and everything else, and learning and continuing to share that love. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Eleanor. We really appreciate those words, and especially remembering Dr. Burgett. And speaking of doctors, how many people here attend Dr. Walter Cooper's school? Anybody? Okay, a few of you. Okay. So we have a great pleasure today. We have Dr. Walter Cooper here with us today, and he's going to share a few words of wisdom with you. Dr. Walter Cooper actually studied at this school. Dr. Walter Cooper was the first African American who ever received a PhD in physical chemistry. And that happened a little while ago. It wasn't just yesterday. So the fact that he was the first was very important because it led to other people who decided to come to school, this school, including myself. I have an MBA from the Simon School, just 2 buildings over. So his great role modeling and allowing other people to see that they could do more, that they could learn more, that they could achieve more is what we expect for all of you. And Dr. Walter Cooper, who has a school named after him, is going to go up and share some words of wisdom with you right now. Dr. Cooper. And I forgot to mention for you guys, he was a star football player in high school and college too.
Thank you, Dana, and good morning and welcome to students, parents, and on this campus, which I attended between 1952 and 1956. I was a graduate student in the field of chemistry, physical chemistry, and it was an exciting place and very intellectually stimulating. I was more than happy to come and try to share a few words of wisdom with you young students who are engaged in a spelling bee, because it reminded me when I was young in Western Pennsylvania, a community not far from Pittsburgh, spelling words was kind of entertainment. We didn't have iPhones and other electronic devices. We didn't even have television. So, but you interacted with your other friends in various ways. What was very common is everyone had to know how to spell Mississippi. M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I. But we then would also try to trick our classmates into spelling words in a false way. Like we would say, how do you spell tough? Some persons would say T-U-F-F, but they would be politely corrected, T-O-U-G-H. And we also use spelling bees as a form of entertainment. And it led me, for example, to buy a pocket dictionary. And I walked around with it in the back of my pants and often would pull it out and learn a new word. And that's still applicable today. I think that you never have a vocabulary that is too large. In most people, it's too small. But you live at a time of great change. You're now involved in setting the foundation for your future. And it's very important that you learn as much as possible in school. Because the world in which you will inhabit as an adult will be entirely different than what it is today. As I can reflect back, when I grew up as a youngster, there was no television. Then there was other entertainment devices that slowly but surely made its way to the marketplace. But there is nothing more important than using your mind. The mind is the great salvation that you really have. You never know enough, and you're living at a time where the jobs that exist today, by the time you young people become adults, they will not be around. Because science and technology has given us immeasurable ways to communicate, to calculate, and do a variety of things, and hopefully not to fight wars. You live at a time where you have excellent opportunities worldwide. You cannot limit yourself to the small neighborhood in which you live today. You have to define for yourself what do you want to pursue as an adult. It's not too early for you to be determined to be a productive citizen in the United States. I look with great hope and sometimes great despair at what your generation will have to face. But hope exceeds all other factors of the thought process. You have the foundation to become scholars, scientists, professionals, doctors, lawyers, and make a significant contribution to this society. We need a new generation of young people who can think, who can live in peace with one another. And it begins at home. It begins in your neighborhood. It begins by mutually respecting others with whom you interact. You have to have an abiding faith in your own humanity and the humanity of others. You never can insult and deprive others who are human of their rights and privileges of citizenship. We have to learn to live, and it begins at an early age, with each other. I was fortunate. I grew up in a community which was international, even though it was during the Depression years and everybody was poor. My next door neighbors were from Italy. Across the street, the next neighbors were from Sicily. And then the other neighbors were from Hungary, and then Poland, and then Russia, and then Czechoslovakia. So that was one of the great fortunes of my early years. I learned to respect the humanity invested in every other human being. But in the process, I also learned and also was determined that I would become a scientist someday. And I maintained that focus. You have to believe in yourself, what you want to become, and no matter what others may say, you have to maintain the focus on what you want to do as a human being. It's very important because if you do not determine what you want to be, someone will do it for you, and often it will not be in your own best interest, and it can be destructive to you. Evil has always existed in our communities, but also virtue and value for other human beings has also existed. The flair and the fashion and being loud and verbal may not have a significant place in your life. It's something you should be able to forget about and maintain your focus. And people ask me, why? How can you do this? It's very simple, and I can give you a historical example. When the early innovators of jazz, Lil Hardin, Louis Armstrong, Buddy Bolden, Sidney Bechet, and others were playing music in the early 1900s, let's say 1910, 1915. Music critics in every major newspaper in the United States stated what they're playing was not a true art form. It was primitive. Suppose those early innovators of jazz had said, well, taken the definition of how others evaluated their music and not be determined to maintain their focus on what they were playing. They decided that we will continue to hone, refine that Afro-Cuban idiom, and we'll call it jazz. So history has vindicated them. We accept jazz as a true art form. But I bring out this example because you will face the same thing in your lives as you grow up. You have to define what you want to do, where you want to go, because that is your individual responsibility. And you must stick to it, because if you do not, someone else will give you a program for your future, and often it will not operate in your own best interest. But to you young people, I wish you the best. The spelling bee is a great mechanism for challenging your mind. Your mind is the center of your future and the center of your universe. So have a great spelling bee, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Cooper, for sharing those words of wisdom with us. And for those of you who are younger, think about what Dr. Cooper said about jazz in the 1915 era and what people say today about rap music. That's not real music. That doesn't have a place in society. It isn't real music. People are saying the same things about that they said about jazz, and perhaps in another 40 or 50 years, the rap artists will be vindicated as well. So we're going to get started. Before we get started, I'm just going to remind you of the rules of the spelling bee. So this is very important. I would ask all the contestants to pay close attention because if you don't know the rules, you can't win. If you don't follow the rules, you can't win. But if you know the rules, follow the rules, and spell, you will win. Okay? So you all practice this. I'll just remind you. When you are given your word, you have to say the word, spell the word, and then say the word again. You are allowed to request from the judges 3 things. You can request that the word be pronounced one more time. You can ask the judges for the definition of the word, or you can ask the judges to use the word in a sentence. There shall be absolutely no talking or gestures among contestants, judges, and or observers. So for the audience, please don't try to spell the words out. Contestants are allowed to pause or restart. But if you restart, you can't change the letters or the sequence of letters from those that you first pronounced. If a contestant ignores the judge's request to spell a word, you will be disqualified. Now, these are a little tricky, so pay close attention to these. If the word that you're asked to spell is a proper noun, for example, if you're asked to spell the word April, you have to say capital A, P-R-I-L. So if it's a proper noun, you have to use the capital. If the word that you're asked to spell is a contraction, then you have to include the apostrophe. For example, if the judge asks you to spell can't, you have to say C-A-N apostrophe T. So you have to include the apostrophe.
I can't. I think
If you're asked to spell a word with a hyphen, I just heard you say this, so you know this one. Okay? If you were asked to spell X-ray, you have to say X hyphen R-A-Y. So you have to remember the hyphen, the apostrophe, and the capital. If you're asked to spell a word that's a homophone, 2 words that are words that sound the same, but they're spelled differently, you should remember to ask for the usage of the word in a sentence so that you can distinguish. For example, if you're asked to spell the word here, you would ask for it to be used in a sentence so that you know if it's H-E-R-E or H-E-A-R, because they're obviously different. If you misspell one word or you fail to say the word before and after, then you will leave the stage area and you'll go back to your seat. So by the time we get to the end, we'll probably just have 2 people up here, and then if 2 or more contestants are tied after all the words in their grade level have been spelled correctly, they will become co-champions and all will be awarded a scholarship. So those are the rules of the spelling bee. We appreciate your paying close attention to those rules. So we're going to get started with the spelling bee. We're going to start with the 3rd graders. 3rd graders, come on down. Everybody has a number on your name tag. So sit in the chair that matches your number. Okay? Everybody got that? All right. We have no number 4. Okay. Great. All right. So before we get started, very quickly, your first name.
Cherish, Amoy, Azariah, Promise, Sochi, Malcolm, Michael, Tanaya.
Okay, those are your 3rd grade spellers. We're going to get started.
Before we get started, I'd just like to tell the crowd to please silence your cell phones during the spelling bee. And are you guys ready? All right. Let's get started. That's number 1. Your word is rare.
Rare, R-A-R-E, rare.
That is correct. You can sit back down.
And just in terms of keeping this moving, if we plot after each speller. We'll be here like 8 o'clock tonight. So if you're okay with that, then fine. If not, then we'll let everybody spell, and then after we finish the round, then we'll do the thanks.
Test number 2. Your word is form.
Form. F-O-R-M. Form.
That is correct. Let's see.
Contestant number 3. Your word is harsh.
Harsh. H-A-S.
Five seconds.
H-A-R-S-H. Harsh.
I'm sorry, that's not correct. You gotta go back and change the order of the word. Yep. Contestant number 5. Your word is spoil.
Spoil. S-P-O-I-L. Spoil.
That is correct. Contestant number 6. Your word is marsh.
Marsh. M-A-R-S-H. Marsh.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is dead.
Dead. D-E-A-D. Dead.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is coal.
Coal. C-O-A-L. Coal.
That's correct. Contestant number 9. Your word is scar.
Scar. S-C-A-R. Scar.
That is correct. Contestant number 10. Your word is assist.
Assist. A-S-S-I-S-T. Assist.
That is correct.
Contestant number 1. Your word is distant.
D-I-S. Distant.
That is correct.
Contestant number 2. Your word is credit.
Credit. C-R-E-D-I-T. Credit.
That is correct. Contestant number 5. Your word is elect.
Elect. E-L-E-C-T. Elect.
That is correct. Contestant number 6. Your word is adopt.
Adopt. A-D-O-P-T. Adopt.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is pretty.
Pretty. P-R-E-T-T-Y. Pretty.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8.
Your word is decay.
D-E-C-A-Y. Decay.
That is correct.
Contestant number 9. Your word is draw.
Draw. D-R-A-W. Draw.
That is correct.
Contestant number 10. Your word is morning.
Morning. M-O-R-N-I-N-G. Morning.
That is correct.
Contestant number 1. Your word is correct.
Correct. C-O-R-R-E-C-T. Correct.
That's correct.
Contestant number 2. Your word is myself.
Myself. M-Y-S-E-L-F. Myself.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is problem.
Problem. P-R-O-B-L-E-N. Problem.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is listen.
Listen. L-I-S-T-E-N. Listen.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is second.
Second. S-E-C-O-N-D. Second.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is animal.
A-N-I-M-A-L.
That is correct.
Contestant number 9. Your word is children.
Children. C-H-I-L-D-R-E-N. Children.
That is correct.
Contestant number 10. Your word is scatter.
Scatter. S-C-A-T-T-E-R. Scatter.
That is correct.
Contestant number 1. Your word is border.
Border.
B-O-R-D-E-R. Border.
That is correct.
Contestant number 2. Your word is across.
Across. A-C-C-O-S. Across.
I'm sorry, that's not correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is idea.
Idea. I-D-E-A. Idea.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is cousin.
Cousin. C-O-U-S-I-N. Cousin.
That is correct.
That's number 7. Your word is mayor.
Mayor. Y-O-R. Mayor.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is clever. That is correct.
Contestant number 9. Your word is digest.
Digest. D-I-G-E-S-T. Digest.
That is correct.
Contestant number 10. Your word is predict.
Predict. P-R-E-D-I-C-T. Predict.
That is correct.
Contestant number 1. Your word is survey.
Survey. S-U-R-V-A-Y. Survey.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Contestant number 5. Your word is nectar.
Nectar. N-E-C-T-A-R. Nectar.
That's correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is science.
Science. S-C-I-E-N-E. Science.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Your word is hundred.
100. H-U-N-D-R-E-D. 100.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is contrast.
C-O-N-T-R-A-S-T.
That is correct.
Contestant number 9. Your word is journey.
Journey. J-O-U-R-N-E-Y. Journey.
That is correct.
Contestant number 10. Your word is flutter.
Flutter. F-L-U-T-T-E-R. Flutter.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is method.
Method. M-E-T-H-O-D. Method.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is tackle.
Tackle. T-A-C-K-L-E. Tackle.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is volunteer.
Volunteer. V-O-L-U-N-T-E-E-R. Volunteer.
That is correct.
Contestant number 9. Your word is example.
Example. E-X-A-M-P-L-E. Example.
That is correct.
Contestant number 10. Your word is sister.
Sister. S-I-S-T-E-R. Sister.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is slumber.
Slumber. S-L-U-M-B-E-R. Slumber.
That is correct.
Your word is device.
Device. D-E-V-I-C-E. Device.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is peace.
Peace. P-I-E-C-E. Peace.
That is correct.
Contestant number 9. Your word is mountain.
Mountain. M-O-U-N-T-A-I-N. Mountain.
That is correct.
Contestant number 10. Your word is complete.
Complete. C-O-M-P-L-E-T-E. Complete.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is value.
Value. V-A-L-U-E. Value.
That's correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is remember.
Remember. R-E-M-E-M-B-E-R. Remember.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is minute.
M-I-N-U-T-E. Minute.
That is correct.
Contestant number 9. Your word is million.
Million. M-I-L-L-I-O-N. Million.
That is correct.
Contestant number 10. Your word is thousand.
Thousand. T-H-O-U-S-A-N. Thousand.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is laugh.
Laugh. L-A-U-G-H. Laugh.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is people.
People. P-E-O-P-L-E. People.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is no. Yes. To have an understanding of.
No. K-N-O-W.
That is correct.
Contestant number 9. Your word is young.
Young. Y-O-N-D. Young.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
And just a reminder to those observing, please don't mouth out the letters to any of the words you're asking the contestants. Thank you.
Contestant number 10. Your word is by.
By. B-U-Y. By.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is night.
Night. N-I-G-H-T. Night.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is whole.
Whole. As in?
I only drink whole milk. Or I'm gonna eat this whole cake.
W-H-O-L-E. Whole.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is measure. That is correct.
Contestant number 10. Your word is sentence.
Sentence. S-E-N-T-E-N-C-E. Sentence.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is cause.
Cause. C-A-U-S-E. Cause.
That's correct.
Test number 7. Your word is doze.
Doze. D-O-Z-E. Doze.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. The word is heart. That is correct.
Contestant number 10. Your word is attract.
Attract. A-T-T-R-A-C-T. Attract.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is moisture.
Moisture. M-O-I-S-T-U-R-E. Moisture.
That is correct.
Test number 7. Your word is elegant.
Elegant. E-L-E-G-A-N-T. Elegant.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is privilege.
Privilege. P-R-I-V-E-L-E-G.
That is correct.
Contestant number 10. Your word is answer.
Answer. A-N-S-W-E-R. Answer.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is locate.
Okay. L-O-C-A-T-E. Locate.
That is correct.
Your word is mural.
Mural. M-U-R-A-L. Mural.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is misery.
Misery. M-I-S-E-R-Y. Misery.
That's correct.
Contestant number 10. Your word is shiver.
Shiver. S-H-I-V-E-R. Shiver.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is world.
World. W-O-R-L-D. World.
That is correct.
Test number 7. Your word is patient.
Patient. P-A-T-I-E-N-T. Patient.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is disease.
Disease. D-I-S-E-A-S-E.
That is correct.
Contestant number 10. Your word is repair.
Repair. R-E-P-A-I-R. Repair.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is explore.
Explore. E-X-P-L-O-R-E. Explore.
That is correct.
Test number 7. Your word is develop.
D-E-V-E-L-O-P. Develop.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is purpose.
Purpose. P-U-R-P-O-S-E. Purpose.
That is correct.
Contestant number 10. Your word is consider.
Consider. C-O-N-S-I-D-E-R. Consider.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is accuse.
A-C-U-S-E.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Contestant number 7. Your word is fatal.
Fatal. F-A-T-A-L. Fatal.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is towards.
Can you repeat that, please?
The word is towards.
Towards. T-O-W-A-R-D-S. Towards.
That is correct.
Contestant number 10. Your word is dangle.
Dangle. D-A-N-G-L-E. Dangle.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is about.
Can you repeat that?
About.
About. A-B-O-U-T. About.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is wood.
Can I have the definition?
Yes, it's the past tense of will.
U-O-U-L-D.
That is correct.
Contestant number 10. Your word is example.
Example. E-X-A-M-P-L. Example.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is favorite.
Favorite. F-A-V-O-R-I-T-E. Favorite.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is symbol.
Symbol. S-Y-M-B-O. Symbol.
That is correct.
Contestant number 10. Your word is wander.
Wander. W-A-N-D-E-R. Wander.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is responsible.
Responsible. R-E-S-P-O-N-S-I-B-L-E. Responsible.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is pleasant.
Pleasant. P-L-E-A-S-A-N-T. Pleasant.
That is correct.
Contestant number 10. Your word is beautiful.
Beautiful. B-E-A-U-T-I-F-U-L. Beautiful.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is island.
Island. I-S-L-A-N-D. Island.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is fierce.
Fierce. F-I-E-R-C. Fierce.
That is correct.
Contestant number 10. Your word is country.
Country. C-O-U-N-T-R-Y. Country.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is machine.
Machine. M-A-C-H-I-N-E.
Machine.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8, your word is course. That is correct.
Contestant number 10. Your word is diagram.
Diagram. D-I-A-G-R-A-M.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is riverbed.
Riverbed. R-I-V-E-R-B-E-D. Riverbed.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is predator.
Predator. P-R-E-D-A-T-O-R. Predator.
That is correct.
Contestant number 10. Your word is nursery.
Nursery. N-U-R-S-E-Y. Nursery.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Contestant number 7. Your word is intelligent.
Intelligent. I-N-T-E-L-L-I-G-E-N-T. Intelligent.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is continent.
C-O-N-T-I-N-E-N-T. Continent.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is tentacle.
Tentacle. T-E-N-T-A-C-L-E. Tentacle.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is furious.
Furious. F-U-L-I-O-U-S. Furious.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is crumble.
Crumble. C-R-U-M-B-L-E. Crumble.
That is correct.
Contestant number 8. Your word is important.
Important. I-M-P-O-R-T-I-N-T. Important.
That is correct.
So it looks like we have exhausted our 3rd grade spelling list. So here we have our 2 winners.
Okay, great. And we have ribbons for all the other participants. We'll pass those out in a bit. So, great job to those 3rd graders, right?
Is shabby.
S-H-A-B-B-Y. Shabby.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is peer. Sorry, what was that? I was looking through the window as I was peering through it.
Peer. P-E-E-R. Peer.
That's correct.
Contestant number 1. Your word is portion.
Portion. Portion. Portion.
That is correct.
Contestant number 2. Your word is cannon.
Cannon. Cannon. Cannon.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is interval. That is correct.
Test number 4. Your word is volume.
Volume. VOULEM. Volume.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Contestant number 5. Your word is vortex.
Vortex. VOITEX. Vortex.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is product.
Product. PRODUCT.
That is correct.
Contestant number 1. Your word is compare.
Compare. COMPARE. Compare.
That is correct.
Test number 2. Your word is content.
Content. Content. CONTENT. Content.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is crafty.
Crafty. CRAFTY. Crafty.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is distract.
Can I get an assistant, please?
I was distracted by a sudden noise.
Distract. DISTRACT. Distract.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is fossil.
Fossil. FOSSEL. Fossil.
I'm sorry, that's not correct.
Your word is 15.
15. FIFTEEN. 15.
That is correct.
Test number 2. Your word is finally.
FINALLY. Finally.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is disaster.
Disaster. DISASTER. Disaster.
I'm sorry, that's not correct.
Contestant 5. Your word is chamber.
Chamber. CHAMBER. Chamber.
That is correct.
Contestant number 1. Your word is locally.
Locally. LOCALLY. Locally.
That is correct.
Number 2, your word is rectangle.
R-E-C-T-A-N-G-L-E, rectangle.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is pentagon.
Pentagon. P-E.
Yes.
Pentagon. P-E-N-T-E-N-G-O-N. Pentagon.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Contestant number 1. Your word is minimum.
Minimum. M. I-N-I-M-U-M. Minimum.
That is correct.
Contestant number 2. Your word is happiness.
Happiness. H-A-P-P-I-N-E-S-S. Happiness.
That is correct.
Contestant number 1. Your word is igloo.
Igloo. I-G-L-O-O. Igloo.
That's correct.
Contestant number 2. Your word is revoke.
R-E-V-O-K-E. Revoke.
That is correct.
Contestant number 1. Your word is peanut.
Peanut. P-E-A-N-U-T. Peanut.
That is correct.
Contestant number 2. Your word is friend.
Friend. F-R-I-E-N-D. Friend.
That is correct.
Contestant number 1. Your word is preheat.
Preheat. P-R-E-H-E-A-T. Preheat.
That's correct.
Contestant number 2. Your word is resist.
R-E-S-I-S. E-S-T. Resist.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Okay, another great class of young people who can spell really, really well, right? You almost made it through all the words that time too. Okay, so that's the 3rd grade and the 4th grade. So now we're up to the 5th grade. So 5th graders, come on down. Okay, 1st grade, 5th graders. First name.
Tyler. Germany. Noah. Joshua. Maya. Jasmine.
Okay, these are your 5th graders. We're going to start with the words for them.
All right, contestant number 1. Your word is establish.
Establish. E-S-T-A-B-L-I-S-H. Establish.
That is correct.
Contestant number 2. Your word is decline.
Decline. D-E-C-L-I-N-E. Decline.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is crave.
Crave. C-R-A-V-E. Crave.
That's correct.
Contestant number 4. Your word is aroma.
Aroma. A-R-O-M-A, aroma.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is endanger.
Endanger. E-N-D-A-N-G-E-R, endanger.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is belief.
Believe. B-E-L-I-E-F. Believe.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is petrified.
P-E-T-R-I-F-Y, petrified.
That is correct.
Contestant number 1. Your word is utopia.
Utopia. U-T-O-P-I-A, utopia.
That is correct.
Contestant number 2. Your word is tolerate.
T-O-L-E-R-A-T-E. Tolerate.
That is correct.
Contestant number 4. Your word is realistic.
Realistic. R-E-A-L-I-S-T-I-C, realistic.
That is correct.
Contestant number 4. Your word is evade.
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 Evade. E-V-A-D-E, evade.
That's correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is historic.
Historic. H-I-S-T-O-R-I-C, historic.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is hilarious.
Hilarious. H-I-L-A-R-I-O-U-S. Hilarious.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is decadent.
Decadent. D-E-C-A-D-E-N-T. Decadent.
That's correct.
Contestant number 1. Your word is amnesia.
Amnesia. A-M-N-E-S-I-A, amnesia.
That's correct.
Contestant number 2. Your word is shield.
Shield. S-H-I-E-L-D. Shield.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is primary.
Primary. P-R-I-M-A-R-Y. Primary.
That is correct.
Contestant number 4. Your word is reliable.
Reliable. R. E-O-I-B-L-E. Reliable.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Contestant number 5. Your word is union.
Union. U-N-I-O-N. Union.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is bravery.
Bravery. B-R-A-V-E-R-Y. Bravery.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is editing.
E-D-I-T-I-N-G. Editing.
That is correct.
That's number 1. Your word is absurd.
Absurd. A-B-S-U-R-D. Absurd.
That is correct.
Contestant number 2. Your word is vertical. That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is oasis.
Oasis. O-A-S I-S, Oasis.
That is correct.
Contestant number 4. Your word is professional.
Professional. Professional. Professional.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is elderly.
Elderly. ELDERLY.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is startled.
Startled. STARTLE. Startled.
That is correct.
Contestant number 1. Your word is poverty.
Poverty. POVERTY. Poverty.
That is correct.
Contestant number 2. Your word is summarize.
Summarize. SUNNARIZE. Summarize.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is argument.
Argument. ARGUMENT. Argument.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is challenge.
Challenge. CHALLENGE. Challenge.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is unfamiliar.
Unfamiliar. UNFAMILIAR. Unfamiliar.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is avalanche.
AVALANCHE.
That is correct.
Contestant number 1. Your word is splendid.
Splendid. Splendid. SPLENDID. Splendid.
That is correct.
Contestant number 2. Your word is purchase.
Purchase.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is constitution.
Constitution. CONSTITUTION. Constitution.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is artifacts.
Artifacts. ARTIFACTS. Artifacts.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is compassion.
Compassion. COMPASSION. Compassion.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is expansion.
Expansion. EXPANSION. Expansion.
That is correct.
Contestant number 1. Your word is blizzard.
Blizzard. BLIZZARD. Blizzard.
That is correct.
Contestant number 2. Your word is altitude.
Capital ALTITUDE. Altitude.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Contestant number 3. Your word is approximate.
Approximate. APPROXIMATE. Approximate.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is navigate.
Navigate. NAVIGATE. Navigate.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is available.
Available. AVAILABLE. Available.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is lifestyle.
Lifestyle. Lifestyle. Lifestyle.
That is correct.
Contestant number 1. Your word is democracy.
Democracy. DEMOCRY. Democracy.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Contestant number 3, your word is revolt.
Revolt. REVOLT. Revolt.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is trout.
Trout. TROUT. Trout.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is auditorium.
Auditorium. AUDITORIUM. Auditorium.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is access.
Access. ACCESS. Access.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3, your word is aggressive.
Aggressive. AGGRESSIVE. Aggressive.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is antagonist.
Antagonist. ANTAGONIST. Antagonist.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is banquet.
Banquet. BANQUET. Banquet.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is frantic.
Frantic. FRANTIC.
Your word is misunderstood.
Misunderstood. MISUNDERSTOOD. Misunderstood.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is review.
Review. REVIEW. Review.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is courteous.
Courteous. COURTEOUS. Courteous.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is escalate.
Escalate. ESCLATE. Escalate.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Contestant number 3, your word is legislature.
Legislator. LEGISLATOR. Legislator.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is margin.
Margin. MARGIN. Margin.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is vulture.
Vulture. VULTURE. Vulture.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is dictionary.
Dictionary. DICTIONARY. Dictionary.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5, your word is nausea.
Nausea. NAUSEA. Nausea.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is pouch.
Pouch. POUCH. Pouch.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is heroic.
Hero. HEROIC. Hero.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is frigid.
Frigid. F-R-I. G-I-D. Frigid.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is beverage.
Beverage. B-E-V-E-R-A-G-E. Beverage.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is gigantic.
Gigantic. G-I-G-A-N-T-I-C. Gigantic.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is exhibit.
Exhibit. E-X-H-I-B-I-T. Exhibit.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is narrative.
Narrative. N-A-R-R-A-T-I-V-E. Narrative.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is slavery.
Slavery. S-L-A-V-E-R-Y. Slavery.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is excavate.
Excavate. E-X-C-A-V-A-T-E. Excavate.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is disadvantage.
Disadvantage. D-I-S-A-V-A-N-T-A-G. Disadvantage.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is affix.
Affix. A-F-F-I-X. Affix.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is decade.
Decade. D-E-C-A-D. Decade.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is emigrate.
Emigrate. E-M-I-G. R-A-T-E. Emigrate.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is perish.
Perish. P-E-R-I-S-H. Perish.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is monarch.
Monarch. M-O-N-A-R-C-H. Monarch.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is tension.
Tension. T-E-N-S-I-O. And pension.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is recently.
Recently. R-E-C-E-N-T-L-Y. Recently.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is evidence.
E-V-I-D-E-N-C-E-L-Y.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is glacier.
Glacier. G-L-A-C-I-E-R. Glacier.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is merchant.
Merchant. M-E-R-C-H-A-N-T. Merchant.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is rain.
Rain. R-E-I-G-N. Rain.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is announce.
Announce. A-N-N-O-U-N-C-E. Announce.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is prefix.
Prefix. P-R-E-F-I-X. Prefix.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is encounter.
Encounter. ENCOUNTER. Encounter.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is massacre.
Massacre. MASSACRE. Massacre.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is anxious.
Anxious. ANXIOUS. Anxious.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is assume.
Assume. ASSUME. Assume.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is narrator.
Narrator. NARRATOR. Narrator.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is historian.
Historian. HISTORIAN. Historian.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is preserve.
Preserve. PRESERVE. Preserve.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is guardian.
Guardian. GUARDIAN. Guardian.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is accomplish.
Accomplish. ACCOMPLISH. Accomplish.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is lifestyle.
Lifestyle. LIFESTYLE. Lifestyle.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is anxiety.
Anxiety. ANXIETY. Anxiety.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is capitalization.
Capitalization. CAPITILIZATION. Capitalization.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Contestant number 5. Your word is consideration.
Consideration. CONSIDERATION. Consideration.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is antonym.
Antonym. ANTONYM. Antonym.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is pedestrian.
Pedestrian. PEDESTRIAN. Pedestrian.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is Portuguese.
Portuguese. Uppercase PORTUGUESE. Portuguese.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is bibliography.
Bibliography. BIBLIOGRAPHY. Bibliography.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is alliteration.
Alliteration. ALLITERATION. Alliteration.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is protagonist.
Protagonist. PROTAGONIST. P-I-S-T, protagonist.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is encyclopedia.
Encyclopedia. ENCYCLOPEDIA. Encyclopedia.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is Norwegian.
Norwegian, capital N-O-R-W-E-G-I-A-N, Norwegian.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is nonchalant.
Nonchalant. NONCHALANT. Nonchalant.
That is correct.
All right, so that is the end of our word list.
Congratulations to these two for making it through the whole word list. Okay, now we're down to the last round here. 6th graders, are you ready? You ready? Okay, come on down. So this is the last round. These are the students that have done this the most time, so they're probably going to take this right to the very end. So I want to encourage everybody to make sure you stay so that they get the encouragement and support that the other 3 graders got as well. So don't leave yet. The best is yet to come. We're going to start with these 6th graders now. Just want to get first names.
Diego, Summer, Jakai, Kimor, Jajon, Tamaka, Jayana.
Okay, you ready? Everybody ready? Okay.
Just a quick reminder to silence all cell phones. Contestant number 1. Your word is abandon.
Abandon. A-B-A-N-D-O.
That's correct.
Contestant number 2. Your word is abundance.
Abundance. A-B-U-N-D-A-N-C-E. Abundance.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is governor.
Governor, G-O-V-E-R-N-O-R, Governor.
That is correct.
Contestant number 4. Your word is irony.
Irony. I-R-O-N-Y. Irony.
That is correct.
Contestant number 5. Your word is apparel.
Apparel. A-P-P-E. A-M.
I'm sorry, that isn't correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is boycott.
Boycott. B-O-Y-C-O-T-T. Boycott.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is arrogant.
Arrogant. A-R-R-O-G-A-N-T. Arrogant.
That is correct.
Contestant number 1. Your word is cultivate.
Cultivate. C-U-L-T-I-V-A-T-E. Cultivate.
That is correct.
Contestant number 2. Your word is drastic.
Drastic. D-R-A-S-T-I-C. Drastic.
That is correct.
Contestant number 3. Your word is duration. Duration.
Duration. D-U-R-A-T-I-O-N. Duration.
That is correct.
Contestant number 4. Your word is esteem.
Esteem. E-S-T-E-E-M. Esteem.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6.
Your word is exploit.
Exploit. EXPLOIT. Exploit.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is hazardous. The chemicals in the bin are hazardous.
Hazardous. HAZARDOUS. Hazardous.
That is correct.
Contestant number 1. Your word is fragment.
Fragment. FRAGMENT. Fragment.
That is correct.
Contestant number 2. Your word is innovation.
Innovation. INVERION. Innovation.
I'm sorry, that's not correct.
That's all right.
Contestant number 3, your word is consequence.
Consequence. CONSEQUENCE. Consequence.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Contestant number 5. Your word is extinct.
Extinct. EXTINCT. Extinct.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is plummet.
Plummet. PLUMMET.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is reluctant.
The man was reluctant to give away his car.
Hesitant to do something.
The word is reluctant.
Reluctant. RELUCTANT.
That is correct.
Contestant number 1, your word is government.
Government. GOVERNMENT.
That is correct.
Contestant number 4. Your word is resolute.
Resolute. RESOLOUTE. Resolute.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Contestant number 6. Your word is retaliate. Retaliate.
Retaliate. RETALIATE. Retaliate.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is beneficial.
Beneficial. BENEFICIAL. Beneficial.
That is correct.
Contestant number 1. Your word is diversity.
Diversity. DIVERSITY. Diversity.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is habitat.
Habitat. HABITAT.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is allegiance.
Allegiance. ALLEGIANCE. Allegiance.
That is correct.
Contestant number 1. Your word is distribute.
Distribute. DISTRIBUTE. Distribute.
That's correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is license.
license. License license.
That is correct.
Contestant number 7. Your word is enrich.
Enrich. INRICH. Enrich.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Your word is exhaust.
Exhaust. EXHAUST. Exhaust.
That is correct.
Contestant number 6. Your word is radical.
Radical. RADICAL. Radical.
I'm sorry, that's the correct word.
Okay, everybody, how about those spellers, right? Got a little quick announcement there. Just hang on 1 second.
Hi everybody, my name is Boaz James, and this is my co-lead, Brianna Dean. We are from the 19th Ward Community Association, and this is our first year directing the spelling bee in partnership with the Brothers of Sigma Phi Epsilon. So thanks to the brothers, thank you to them, round of applause for them. As well as thank you to the teachers who helped with making sure the kids knew the words, practiced them, took them home, studied, and all of those great things. So before parents leave, this is a scholarship opportunity. So the parents of the winners must fill out paperwork right now in order to get their $500 scholarship for college. So I hope I see some teachers, parents, come on down right now. That'll be great. And also we have a raffle for some Brussels ice cream certificates as well. So can I get some parents down here and teachers as well? Thank you. Parents, teachers, and winners.
Okay, so parents, teachers, and winners, come on down. We have also participant awards for everyone who participated. It looks like our class goes out now. Okay, are there any teachers in here, who'd like you to come over to the judges table, please? Teachers to the judges table.